Hello, my name is Christopher Bryant. I am the founder, owner, and researcher for CD Bryant Genealogy. I have the pleasure, or had the pleasure, of calling Anita Bryant Thompson my grand aunt. She was the baby of six children. Her oldest brother, Thomas Edward Bryant Sr., was my grandfather. And his house was the stomping ground on every holiday. So, on any given holiday, all of his siblings, including Aunt Nita, would come to his house. There would be cars lined up on the side of the house, in front of the house, behind the house, people sitting on the porch, in the living room, in the bedrooms, in the kitchen, the back porch, in the backyard, somebody playing dominoes, the kids playing football in the very fond memory, very fond memories during the holiday times. Aunt Nita, I remember her all of my life basically. As the popularity of genealogy started picking up, she and I began to get very, very close. She had wishes for various parts of the family that she wanted to know more information about. So, being the baby of the six kids, she missed out on a lot of information. And so her recollection of a lot of the details was based on what she heard, not necessarily what she saw. but a lot of the information that she had was very helpful for me. I gave her every DNA test that I was able to try to gain more insight to our family and who we were biologically connected to. Um, and she was just a truly sweet, warm person. Um, her parents um, were R.Z. Clinton Bryant Sr. and his wife Louisa Gray. All of our family was from East Texas, Panola County, Carthage, Texas. And R.Z. Bryant, passed away in 1972. So I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him personally, but there were tons of stories that I heard about him. Um, the picture that you see, he looks kind of brown skinned, but truly he was very, very light complected. Um, he was a very generous man, a very caring man. He was one of 10 children. He was actually the baby. So he had a lot of nieces and nephews that were almost his age. His older siblings were having children when he was a little boy. He took on the responsibility as the baby to make sure that he took care of his nieces, took care of all the extended family, and whoever needed anything, he was there. Excuse me. My father told me a story that he used to hate when his grandfather, R.Z. Bryant, would give him a ride to school because if he saw any child walking down the street, he was stopping to pick them up and put them in the car. So by the time they got to the school, it was about 25 people packed in the car um, on the way to school, which I'm sure was very, very uncomfortable. So RZ and Louisa, they were born in Panola County. They raised their children in Panola County, and then everyone migrated to Terrell, Texas, in Kaufman County, and that's where they lived out the rest of their life. Louisa Gray, his wife, she was described as a very caring person. I heard that she did have a mean streak if you messed with her family. Um, and I think that a lot of her children picked up the exact same trait. Everybody loved their family and they just did not play about their family. If anybody wronged their family, rest for sure they were going to come to bat for you. Anybody with the Bryant last name, they were going to come to bat. Um, they were just a very, from what I understand, a very caring, lovable couple that raised their children, took care of their grandchildren, raised their great grandchildren, and did anything they could for anybody in the community. Um, um, RZ, on the next slide, you will see RZ Bryant's father, Charlie Bryant. Charlie Bryant, we don't know a lot of information about him. We are fortunate enough to have this photograph of him. I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but the characteristics of this man, he looks mixed race. His hair looks to have be kind of wavy. He had a part in his hair. He has on a full suit, a tie, a dress shirt. And the only things that we really know about him is that he was born about 1848 in Vicksburg, Mississippi. We do not know the names of his parents. He had four, actually, four known siblings, and then two siblings that we are not sure about. So there is a story that states that Charlie Bryant was brought over as a slave to Texas from Mississippi. And when he came over to Texas, once he became of age, he began working, uh, earned his own money, earned his own living, and he was determined to find his siblings. So he traveled back to Mississippi and he found his brother. And he got his brother and brought him back to Texas. When he brought his brother back to Texas, they built each other a house. Their houses literally were side by side. Their houses were side by side. They had families, wives, children. And then the two brothers went back to Mississippi and they found two of their sisters. They brought the sisters back to Texas and got them established. The sisters married, had 12 plus children, but the family story goes that they had a set of fraternal twin siblings that were still on the slave owners' land. So they went back to Mississippi to try to gain those siblings, to get those siblings, and unfortunately, they were not able to find them or get them out from the slave owner. So unfortunately, they stayed there. And I grew up hearing this story, but now that I have Aunt Anita's DNA, we have a group of DNA matches that are from Vicksburg, Mississippi, the same place that Charlie Bryant was born. This group of people, I've spoken with them. They stated that they have been in Vicksburg, Mississippi since the beginning and have never left. So my question is, are these the descendants of those fraternal twins that they were not able to get out of the slave owners camp? This could be that missing link that we have to our family history. I mean, when you think about this, Adaria, Charlie Bryant is your 3 times great grandfather. If I'm able to find the identity of those siblings and perhaps the identity of the parents, we could then extend that back to your 4th, 5th, and even 6 times great grandparents. This will take us well into the 1700s. So I truly feel fortunate to be able to have this information, have these tools to be able to use. Even though Anita isn't physically with us, her DNA is still working heavily for me to be able to find our family and to solve all of our family mysteries. So I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to be able to share a little bit of our Bryant history with you.